I think we're ready to do this.
Yeah, we're ready to rumble.
Right.
The sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, sorry. Running low on power. Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
All right. You ready?
Yeah. Coming up on Podmockers, defining Pixar. Leave your kid on the bus. Don't have enough to argue about? Come up with a fake reversey. And this just in. Remember, Black Lives Matter. Not as much as blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl lives, but they still matter. Lord, I hope you people can recognize sarcasm.
Hey everybody, welcome once again to another episode of Pop Mockers. This is the most offensive, clean podcast on planet Earth. It's a show where we make fun of everything pop culture, social media, current events, and quite often each other.
All too often.
And pretty much anybody who uses the internet. This is episode 59, brought to you April 16th, year of our Lord 2015. I am Chris Cowan, and while you may mistake me for a man, my true gender identity is a tigress. Rar.
That makes sense.
And you are?
I'm Nate Henderson, and I'm bringing goodwill towards men and, recently, women.
Wow, that's good. That is
I
progress.
decided to branch out. So.
That is progress.
Yeah.
See, so that is female progress. That is women's suffrage.
That's right.
That's the culmination. Of
there it is.
All those years.
That's it. Pack up shop. There it is. We're done.
It is a balmy Wednesday night at.
It is rather balmy, isn't it?
Shortly after, mainly because I covered myself in lip balm. It's shortly after 8:30 p.m. on a Wednesday night Pacific time.
Mm-hmm.
And we are broadcasting live. So if you've ever said, you know what, those guys sound ugly, they probably look ugly too, I want to check them out, head on over to popmockers.com/live and watch our live webcast.
Yes.
It's live.
That's right. And just in case you're catching this on a recording, I assume you'll be able to do this next week at the exact same location.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's the goal. You know, originally we had set a lofty goal, I think, of for our Patreon supporters. We set a lofty goal of $60 per month.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
We didn't reach that goal yet.
Not quite there.
Because we do have faces for radio. We wanted to show you those faces. Even though
confirm what you already suspected, and
get there. So we went ahead and decided to let's go ahead and broadcast live. I had to clean up my office a little bit to accommodate that, but it's happening. So Wednesdays 8:30 p.m. Pacific. Join us. Speaking of Patreon, you, dear listener, can support this show at patreon.com/Breakroom Studios, and I actually made some changes to the Patreon page.
Did you?
I did. What I did was, because originally I'd set out, I'm like, let's make this a Patreon page, not just about Pop Mockers, but about all the projects we want to do, and if we get to this level or that level, we'll be able to do this thing or that thing. Well, it turns out Patreon maybe isn't the best place for if you want to do a broad range of projects. It just kind of ends up being focused on this one podcast, Pop Mockers, which is totally cool. So I changed the Patreon page so that it's basically just a Patreon page to support this specific podcast, Pop Mockers, which is really what it had become. I just basically changed the page so it reflected that. And along with that, I actually made several of the incentives a little bit more attainable. If you're at I think at the $10 a month level, we will write a song for you and dedicate it to you.
That's awesome.
At the $10 a month level. And so, some of the other things are a lot more accessible too. So I want to take a moment and thank our current Patreon supporters, Christopher Battles, Isaac Chandler, Kathy Hansen, James Kennison, Alexandra DeFritas, and Francisco Ruiz.
Yes.
And head on over to patreon.com/Breakroom Studios and get exclusive content and the happy feelings of knowing that that money you could have given to Mother Teresa International, you gave to a much worthier cause.
Huh. I didn't know they had that organization.
I'm sure somebody does. I should start that organization.
You really should.
Let the money just pour in.
Might be a trademark issue, but whatever. That's just
you can't trademark a person.
Sure you can.
Hey, also Bluehost, popmuckers.com/Bluehost. Sign up for our affiliate link and get some awesome web hosting. It's the same stuff we use for our websites, and it's a great host. I love it. And sign up. It's cheap, affordable, and you'll be doing yourself a favor, us a favor, and Bluehost a favor. Everybody wins. Even Obama wins.
Really?
Even
do you think he'd start a website?
Even your preferred presidential candidate wins.
Do you think he'd start a website where maybe he just offers to give something to the American public for nothing?
I think so.
Do you think
nothing's
close to nothing anyway?
Nothing's for nothing.
That's very true.
Freedom is not free, Nate.
It costs folks like you and me.
Exactly. Hey, guess what? Francisco Ruiz, we announced the last episode. Francisco, our friend from the Retro Rewind podcast, created a Pop Mockers bingo card, so you can play bingo while listening to this podcast.
That's right.
Normally, I require your absolute focus and attention on just the sound of our voices, but you're actually going to be doing that. This accommodates that.
You're going to make an exception for this.
Yeah, this actually enhances that because you're listening for specific keywords.
Let me ask you, as our listeners may already realized by now, there is a third member missing from our crew.
That's true.
I'm curious as to how much that actually handicaps the bingo game.
Well, that's a very good question.
I'm not sure how many bingo squares actually involve quant. But I think there's a decent amount.
Oh, there definitely are a decent number. Oh, this did not turn out right. What the heck happened here?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Bingo's broken.
Bingo's broken!
Bingo is
Well, this will be more fun for everybody to try and figure out.
Okay, well, I'll have it up by the time this episode is released then. But there's all kinds of different stuff you can play along. Quant is a cancer survivor is one of the things.
That's right.
If we're just talking about Quant,
we can just mention that.
Yeah. You could still play bingo.
That's true.
For those sort of relevant
That's
things.
true. Maybe not a lot of them are actually quant doing anything direct. So that's good.
Exactly. But yeah, play along. popmockers.com/bingo to get your bingo card and send us a screenshot of the results you find. There's lots of fun stuff there. All right, hey, guess what? We got a voicemail.
All right.
From a listener and fellow podcaster. You may remember we actually dedicated an episode to the subject that our state, California, is in a drought.
Not doing so well.
Not doing so well in the water department, and so that's been a subject on a couple episodes. And we got this voicemail in response to that topic. That was awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love that he got his wife involved. That really made it.
It's where does Brian live?
Upstate Michigan.
Okay.
If he's
Can I just say that voicemail, even though it was a joke voicemail, I actually started feeling like nervous because I was like thinking, man, he's wasting all that water. But it's like, no, he's not in the Dust Bowl that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
That's just
oh man. Speaking of
that situation.
Speaking of the Dust Bowl. Oh, that is not the button I meant to. Oh, hey, I think that's on the theme song. I think that's on the bingo, pressing the wrong. Nice.
Wrong
intro.
I love it.
That's a winner
Everybody
right there.
check that one off.
But no, speaking of the Dust Bowl weekly updates. This is part of the show where we talk about what's new and what's happening.
Yes,
it's a good segue, right?
Right.
We watched Interstellar. Esther got it for me kind of as a sporadic gift.
Yeah.
And we saw that in theaters. It's great. And,
yes, it's very well done.
A major theme in that movie is kind of that the Earth is turning into a dust bowl.
Yeah, and all the crops are dying.
Yeah. And it actually inspired me to watch the Ken Burns documentary on the Dust Bowl. Have you seen that?
I have not tuned into that yet.
Oh my gosh, it is crazy, dude. It is just crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh. You know what? It makes you believe in global warming. Let me tell you. Because it was it's pretty crazy because the Dust Bowl. I didn't realize somehow I didn't remember from the history books that it was actually a man-made ecological disaster.
Really?
Where they basically what it was the plains were covered with buffalo grass, which had roots that like held the water in the ground and went like 5 feet deep in the ground. But when they had this big gold rush to plow over all that and dig up all the grass, they removed all that and it made all the ground dry. And it just turned the whole thing into like mountains of dust. It's the craziest thing watching that footage.
So it was narrated by Ken Burns. Was it produced by Al Gore? Or?
Yeah.
No. Okay, I just want to double check.
No, it was really good though.
I'm sure it was.
I'm still making my way through it, but it's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. Should we go out into the redwoods? I can chain you to a tree and just have you.
I think so.
Nature.
It turned me into an environmentalist.
Oh, sweet. I was hoping.
So, I just feel like I care about the environment and stuff.
And tell them how much we love them.
I feel like trees are something that we need, and we should take care of our Mother Nature. And this is a throwback.
This is a definite
None of you are gonna get this reference.
No,
because it was from like 2 podcasts ago, not 2 podcast episodes ago.
Literally 2 different podcasts.
It's from before we were Pop Mockers, before we were No Show. We were a show called The Madcast. And we did an episode about these hippies that went out into the forest and just cried about trees and how much pain the trees were in.
They were emotional.
And so this is a clip from that scene, and this is how the Dust Bowl documentary made me feel about all the damage we are doing to our Mother Earth. Because I don't know if you know this, Nate, but it's the only Earth we've got.
Oh dear God.
Yeah,
that is a legitimate pained scream from a tree hugger who just wants to go out there and let the trees know how much they love them.
Yeah. One of these days we got to bring that video back. It's so
I'm
old
sure
now. It's old news on the internet now.
People can dig through the archives and look it up.
But it's there somewhere. It's a good one. So what's new? What's been happening with you this week?
Well, you might remember, was it a few podcasts ago perhaps, where you bestowed a fantastic gift upon me of a shower radio, if I'm not mistaken.
How's that working?
Well, it's working a couple times.
I was so bummed because you texted me like a couple days later and it told me to call you
Well, no, I texted you like the moment I used it for the first time.
Yeah.
Because you can take calls through it.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I was gonna I was rocking out to some 80s music, and okay, I'll admit it. I mean, I don't care if we're in a drought. I took a 20-minute shower waiting for Cowan to call, and meanwhile I busted it out to the likes of Fine Young Cannibals and REO Speedwagon, and there's a couple others too, and I was loving it. There's a little shower Bluetooth radio.
That's awesome.
Gotta say, I kind of showered in fear based on the warnings.
Yeah.
Because I tried to affix it before I got in just to test it, you know?
Yeah.
5 minutes later I hear this, and then it just hits the tile.
It came
okay, so if that's a live lithium battery and it falls into a puddle of shower water, who knows what's going to happen?
Oh.
But, my wife was like, you got to use more saliva. So I just suction cupped that puppy on, and I was a little nervous, but it held. It held. I was able to listen to some good tunages, and
nice.
Yeah, no, it works. It works like a charm.
Awesome.
You were awesome.
That's great.
You had I don't know how you knew I would love that, but
well, it was something I loved. Like I said, it was for you.
I've only been able to use it a couple of times because it's something you gotta commit to.
Yeah.
You gotta listen, and that's the problem too. Is this couldn't have come at a worse time because we're getting so much guilt about you can't water your lawn, you can't take a long shower. I'm like, what? I get to choose one song to listen to while I scrub a dub, and then I gotta hit stop. I can't do that. I don't have that discipline. I want to rock out to Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I don't want to.
Well, see, what it is it's not just a way to enjoy your shower, but it's actually a way to encourage civil disobedience against all this water usage shaming that's going on in California these days.
Yeah.
The shower police are going to come knocking on your shower door.
One thing I also noticed, this is a completely different topic, but my family and I had the joy of making yet another trip to our local Sam's Club. Are you guys a member of a box?
No, actually, we canceled Costco because the only thing we were using that for was occasional free samples and nope, that's about it.
So I gotta say, there's a couple things that were fun in Sam's Club. Sam's Club is like the abusive parent that we just keep coming back to. Because
I picture Sam's
Club. It keeps mistreating us, but we're kind of like, oh, we need you for sustenance. Which is really sad. The last time we just went recently. We went over a week. We went a week ago. It was Megan's birthday. It was on Megan's birthday.
Okay.
And I meet her there from work.
Okay.
And I go to walk over to my family in her car. And she's getting out, and the kids are getting out, and she closes the door. I'm like, sweetie, you grabbed the key, right?
Oh.
And she goes to open the door, and it's locked.
Oh.
And I'm like, and I'm trying to be cheery because it's her birthday. She's had a great day so far. And I'm just like, guess I'll call AAA with a big smile on my face. She can tell I was super annoyed.
Oh,
and she's like, okay, I guess I'll take the kids in the store and you can meet us up there. And so through a couple of mishaps here and there and stuff, and we're ticked off. We're arguing and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we walk into the store, and one thing I can't stand, and she really can't stand about Sam's Club, is they allow salespeople, independent salespeople, to work the floor. With booths and stuff, sales booths.
Oh, really?
Selling Wonder mattresses or, new ShamWow stuff or DirecTV. And so Megan, I mean, I kind of just, okay, yeah, they're kind of doing that. It still annoys me, whatever.
Yeah.
Megan can't stand
Yeah.
the being sold to when she walks in the store. And so after all these things, and we're just both in a bad mood, and I'm just praying, please nobody approach us. This would just be the worst time for some newbie salesperson, Sure enough, this little this little, I'd say she had to have been like maybe 20, 21. Like she was young. She was working this little sales booth that sells a special lotion, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife works in skincare, so she knows everything this person's peddling is complete crap.
Oh, no.
And so normally she's working, they should be standing at the other end of the store, but this saleswoman is ambitious.
Oh, no.
And she walks the full length of the entryway, like all the way from the other end of where her booth is, because it's a slow night. She can't wait to let people try this new lotion. And so she walks up to us, not obviously seeing that we're having like an argument about something. They're like so oblivious. And she's like, "Hi, how are you guys doing tonight?" Without even letting her get a full sentence out. Megan's just like, "No, thank you." Like, first, very polite, you know? You'd think that would give you a hint, you know? Let's just take it and move on to the next thing. She's like, "Okay, well, if you'll just, like..." Oh. And Megan just looks at her and says, "No, thank you." And it's like, I was looking at this poor girl, and I just kind of had this look on my face that is like, to be fair, you didn't quite read the signs.
Yeah,
you didn't.
No kidding.
You're young, you're inexperienced. Let me give you a hint. If you see a couple arguing about something, especially with the young kids in tow,
right. And if one of them is a redhead,
just move on. It's not even worth it. I have a question for you. Have you ever been approached by like sales for people when they see that you have young kids and it's just a zoo?
Yes.
How do you feel about that? I mean, I look at it as, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The next time somebody tries to get my attention when my two kids are fighting it out or yelling it out, I'm going to look at them and say, you have until one of these two starts yelling, and then we move on. And they're going to get 5 seconds in and be like, okay, thanks! As I start yelling. Because I'm so ticked off. These salespeople just don't have any, I don't know, they don't have a clue. Whatever. Sam's Club.
Nice.
Ringing endorsement.
So I just, I have HBO now, because it came with my $5 upgrade.
Brag about it, why don't you?
I mean, there's nothing on there I want to see, except...
So you did a 4-season Game of Thrones marathon.
You know
Good for you.
Yeah. No, except there's this documentary called Going Clear.
I've heard about that.
It's about Scientology. And it is, it was pretty crazy.
But yeah,
and actually, it was inspiring.
Was it?
I've decided my new calling in life is to make up a religion and make some serious money off of it.
Make some bank.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested, I will be, first service of Church of Chris starts this Sunday.
Just your first name, not even the last name. Just Church of Chris.
Well, I figured that they'll give me some kind of
not even trying to
SEO juice. Somebody mistypes Church of Christ.
Not even trying to. Not even trying to spice it up, Christopher or the Church of.
No.
All right,
Church of Chris.
Okay.
First Church of Chris.
First Church of Chris. I heard that documentary was very eye-opening.
Oh, it was good. It was good. It's a lot of the stuff you kind of have heard on the internet, but it kind of.
This is kind of confirming. Those
and
things.
It's like people who were in it for like 30+ years. One of the guys was a PR rep for the church for like 10 years. So
he's got all the dirt.
Yeah. So it was pretty eye-opening.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Tom Cruise and Travolta were mentioned.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it is pretty good. So I think I'll be starting my own religion because it's
good for you.
I mean, it just looks like a lucrative.
It does look very
kind of
profitable.
Business. Yeah. This is the part of the show where we talk about. No, I guess this is a little bit of a deviation from our normal theme for this subject.
Yeah.
But basically,
it's welcome.
So we got an email from this girl named Emily, and she's just said, "I just wanted to say that I really enjoy the show. It helps Helps keep me from going insane on my 2-hour commute to school, so keep up the funny stuff.
2-hour commute?
2-hour
To
commute.
school?
To school.
Yipes.
Yes. Yeah. So,
Where even is that?
it's a really, prestigious elementary school, and she's just really...
I really hope no elementary schoolers are listening to this podcast.
No, I guess she said she's almost finished with her degree.
Hey, congrats.
Anyways, okay, so she says, okay, so here's something I'd love to hear you guys talk about on the show. In the first episode of Pop Mockers I listened to, you laid out how to introduce Star Wars to someone who has never seen it.
That's
which is
right.
the machete,
The machete method.
which we're working on
We're
doing with Quant
We're
still.
desperately trying to organize that with him.
And so she said, which I thought was really cool. How would you introduce Pixar to a person who thinks that Pixar is just a style of computer animation and whose favorite Pixar movies are actually DreamWorks movies? Oh. And here's the clincher.
That's awesome.
Because I'm married to this person.
Oh, okay.
And I just found this out about him when I was going on and on about the preview for the new Pixar movie about the little girl's emotions in her brain. He actually hasn't even seen the majority of Pixar films and doesn't believe me that Shrek is not Pixar!
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh!
That's fantastic.
What are we gonna do?
These are those little gems that you live for when you find out that your significant other just has a completely skewed take on something, and it can be something super trivial or minor, but it's just so fantastic because you come to that realization and you think, how have I never ever known this about you?
This is my reaction, and it would absolutely be my reaction if if I found this out about my spouse.
All right, so you take it pretty hard.
Yeah, it's okay.
Now she just wants to know. She wants to know how to break the news to them, basically.
How to explain it to them. So there's a few things you can do. First of all, I think this is a serious life lesson kind of warning to other people who are considering, they're engaged or, pursuing someone, and that is
make sure they know.
Ask about Pixar
Make sure
first.
they know the difference.
Ask about Pixar first.
Yeah.
But, now that you are married...
This is almost right up there with kids or no kids sort of discussion.
Oh, totally,
You really have to... You got to get it all out at once.
Now, okay, Shrek is acceptable in terms of, he's allowed to like Shrek. I'll give that to him.
I love Shrek.
Shrek is
I like
fun.
the Shrek movie.
But here's the difference. Okay, here's how you tell the difference between DreamWorks and Pixar.
Right.
Pixar is always timeless. Pixar's humor comes from the characters, the situations, the stories, and very rarely does it come from pop culture references, excepting if it's childhood toys, and that leads into the kind of their other main thing is they capitalize off of basically nostalgia and timelessness.
But see, there you have it. If DreamWorks ever creates it, if you go by just that criteria, if DreamWorks ever creates a timeless movie, if they ever create a timeless movie, then you're host.
No, DreamWorks.
You're host.
DreamWorks never will. DreamWorks, their humor is completely different because they primarily capitalize off of pop culture references. So the way you can tell the difference is if you watch a computer-generated movie and at the end of it you're like, yeah, pretty much all those jokes will still be funny 20 years from now. Then you know it's not a DreamWorks picture.
Okay. Now that is very involved criteria, and I have to hand it to Cowan for having that depth of analysis.
I've been analyzing this for years.
I can clinch this for you in a combined total of 30-second effort on your part. You queue up 2 screens of YouTube. The first one has the Pixar promo intro. The second one has the DreamWorks promo intro. All you have to do is show your husband each 10-second snippet and say, whichever one appears at the beginning of the movie, that's what the movie belongs to. Done and done.
Yeah. But,
or, if you live close to Disneyland, Pixar characters always make an appearance in Disneyland.
Yes.
You will not see Shrek at Disneyland.
Yeah.
You will see him at Universal Studios, not Disneyland.
Yeah.
There's your criteria.
And another criteria is if you have two very similar movies, such as Bug's Life and Ants,
Was DreamWorks?
or
Ants was DreamWorks.
Shark Tale and Finding Nemo,
Shark Tale.
whichever one of those does not suck is the Pixar
It's
movie.
the Pixar one.
And if your husband likes Shark Tale,
then there's no hope anyways. So you might as well just divorce. Wait, what?
oh wow.
No,
Yes.
no,
That was
I'm just-
Nate. That was Nate.
Look,
But
look.
yeah, I agree.
They have
No.
a box on the form that says irreconcilable differences, and I'm pretty sure right under that is failure to differentiate
If
between
your
Pixar
spouse
and
likes
DreamWorks.
likes
I'm just
Shark
saying.
Tale, then that is irreconcilable differences. Absolutely.
You may want to rethink this whole thing. That's all. Yeah, no, the moment that Pixar creates a movie where people train dragons, that's when, it gets hard to differentiate. So,
Yeah.
But it's...
Yeah.
DreamWorks does make the occasional good film.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. How to Train Your Dragon was great.
Fantastic. Prince of Egypt.
Prince of Egypt was kind of their first one, and that's, to me, that's like the best animated
fantastic.
musical of all time.
I agree.
But yeah, they've got some.
But for the most part, Pixar is pretty much flawless across the board.
If you really want to educate him, let him see. I think it's called To Infinity and Beyond, and it's a documentary about Pixar.
Oh, there you go.
And that will really kind of help him see this is a
that's
legit
perfect.
company that has depth
That has more money than
and
anybody.
Steve Jobs. So there you go.
Not anymore.
No, but they did.
They did.
And it has John Lasseter. So
That's right.
that's all you need to know.
Always wears Hawaiian shirts.
Exactly. All right, moving on. This is the part of the show where we peruse Facebook for social network faux pas. And thankfully, excuse me, we don't often have to look very far.
No, you don't really have to toss a stone that far.
You don't really have to go much further than look at the comments on any of my statuses.
All you have to do is hit refresh and a new one pops up every time.
Pretty much. And so this is one. So I've got this situation with my son, and if you're playing Papa Mocker's Bingo, it is my special needs
Here
kid.
it comes. There you go. Mark the box.
Hunter.
Special needs kid.
And he takes the bus to school every day. Now, recently, so our bus basically was coming to our house to pick him up at 7:30 a.m. every day.
Okay.
And then we had another bus driver substitute come in, and she was getting there at 7:20.
10 minutes early.
10 minutes earlier.
Wow.
So obviously, since we always had 7:30 as the pickup time,
Yeah.
we've arranged our lives around that.
Do they come to your house, or do they come to like just a little ways down the street?
No, they come to my house.
Okay.
So what happened was the bus got here at 7:20, and we're like, okay, well, it's here a little bit early, so we've got a little time.
Sure.
And then it took off. And I'm like, what the heck?
How long was it? How long did it wait?
No, well, here's the thing.
Okay.
What I learned was, and this kind of leads into my my stat. So basically, what I found out was 7:20 is the actual supposed pickup time.
Uh-huh.
Our usual bus driver just never comes at that time.
Oh, they come late.
Yeah. So we didn't
Wow.
know that. So
you were actually given an efficient,
yeah,
a punctual bus driver on that
Yeah.
substitute day.
yeah.
Wow.
So then here was my post. Our school bus system has a rule that if we don't bring our son out within 2 minutes of the bus arriving, it will leave without him. 2 freaking minutes.
That's a pretty short time
frame.
That's
not much time.
That's a pretty short time frame for a special needs child.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because you have things like chairs and...
Well, and it's not like we can just... Yeah, it's just not as simple as just waiting out by the bus stop in your warm clothes.
Right.
So it will leave without him, and it's okay. That's fine, whatever. But I'm officially starting a new rule where if the bus doesn't bring him back within 2 minutes of his scheduled arrival, they get to keep him for the night.
Hey, fair is fair. Fair is fair.
So obviously most people were like, you got a little chuckle out of that. It was kind of funny.
That's clever.
Because it's true, like the bus will often arrive late, and it's kind of inconvenient for us to...
Sure, you're expecting them home.
Yeah. So most of the people who commented were just like, oh, that's, funny, whatever. Sounds totally fair. That will show them, blah, blah, blah. And then this guy.
Now, hold on. Isn't this a listener? No?
I don't know.
Okay.
But there's this guy. If you're a listener, you might be a listener. We've featured listeners plenty of times.
Sure, you bet.
If you're this guy, you deserve it. You deserve to be mentioned because it's just too good.
All right, go ahead.
There's always one guy who doesn't quite grasp that, hey, I'm making a joke. It's a funny.
Yeah.
I highly doubt you'd actually want the state of California to keep your kid. They will do long-term traumatic damage to him. The kind of stuff he will struggle with as an adult.
Wow. That's right. California will molest your kid. That is...
Thanks for that thought, buddy.
That's fantastic.
It's like, hey, it's a little joke. Let's just get completely serious for no reason.
A lot of people choose a political figure or a celebrity to harp on or something.
Yeah.
He just chooses a state, just the state of California. If there's one group that doesn't know how to run a successful foster care system, it's the state of California.
I don't think you'd want the state of California to have your kid overnight, Chris.
That's right.
So when I'm faced with something like that, how would you respond to somebody like that? Because I was kind of conflicted.
You mean besides saying get bent? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, so I decided I would do basically I filter everything through the lens of what will be the most entertaining for me personally. And turns out that's actually, if he's taking it seriously, I'm going to take it seriously too. And
Fair enough.
I just said, thanks for the tip. I guess I won't force the bus driver to take care of my kid overnight.
And after that, the poster just breathed a sigh of relief.
Phew.
Wiped the sweat off of his brow.
He's like, he lit his pipe, sat down in his easy chair by the fire.
That's right.
Looked out into space and said, that's one more kid I've saved.
Looked towards a roaring fire and just muttered to himself, that's one less kid you're going to hurt, California.
He's got on his side saddle, he's got a checklist.
He's got some hash marks.
That's
awesome.
One more notch on my belt.
That's awesome.
Kid, you're saved.
You're welcome. Yeah, I can see it happening. I wouldn't put it past.
Oh my gosh.
Well, good reply.
This is the part of the show where we have a topic and we talk about it.
Aren't you glad you don't have to do that intro anymore?
Oh my gosh, yes. Getting my voice all riled up.
Yeah.
Weekly topic. It's
flawless.
Yeah. Well, I had to smoke for 30 minutes.
Well, sure. To record that audio sample
to get it. So that yeah. All right. So this week's topic, and I put this out to the Facebook group as usual, which you can join at facebook.com/groups/breakroomstudios. And I said, this week's topic, it seems like the politicians and media are always trying to stir up some sort of controversy out of nothing. a.k.a. fake controversies.
Hmm.
But why should they have all the fun? So we decided we would come up with our best ideas for fake controversies to get everyone riled up over nothing.
I like it. Now, fake controversies, this isn't some term that's going around, right? Is this something you coined?
No, it's I've heard it elsewhere. Armstrong and Getty is a popular California radio show.
Yeah, they use it.
They use it.
Okay.
And it's appropriate because there's a lot of stuff that people are like. It's we got a 24-hour news cycle. You got to come up with something to get people riled up about, or just all the memes people post. Like I saw somebody post something the other day that was like some quote. It was some quote from Obama, like on video from like 20 years ago. And he says like the most mundane thing possible. It like wasn't even like memorable. And they had this whole blog about how he's evil and race baiting and all this stuff just off of one completely menial quote.
Right.
But because they need to get listeners or readers on their blog, they needed to have some sort of controversy, new thing to point out about Obama, and that was all they could find for that day. So
nice.
And of course, the only way I saw it was because somebody was like, "Oh, wow, he did do something terrible 20 years ago when he said something completely pointless. Oh, share, alert everybody."
Like he's telling Cher, the singer? Or
yes.
He's Cher? Okay.
Yes, that's what I was getting.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. So, that kind of thing. Basically, what are some new fake controversies? What are some things we can come up with that will be controversial unnecessarily? So, Joe Conley had an idea. Well, he's basically stirring up controversy over the California drought. California has been lied to. We have plenty of water, which, is kind of almost like conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
How about this one? We've got this big Save the Whales campaign. Whales do not want to be saved. They are, in fact, suicidal.
Ooh.
So,
that's heavy.
There you go. Yep. Let's see.
Whalers will be happy to hear that one.
Christopher Battles, there's a mac and cheese shortage caused by the government, and now millions will go hungry. Let's see, what else we got here?
Mac and cheese shortage. I don't think I want to live in a world like that.
Now, Joe, my brother Joe gets it. Women wearing dresses. Should that be allowed?
Something tells me this harkens back at least a century and a half ago.
Yeah. Now, this one actually hits somewhat close to reality. Another one from Joe. The government considers itself too controversial. The government decides that too many American flags can lead to extreme patriotism, which leads to anarchy. Racism of Koreans. Why do you keep calling Kim Jong a South Korean? That's racist. All Koreans are equal. I think he's North Korean.
Either way.
Yeah. Nicole says, firemen are responsible for forest fires. They've been spotted on the scene of literally every major fire in California in the last decade. Boom.
Oh, man.
Let's see. Got a couple others here.
Gotta love the ones that cut to the heart of our heroes. That's great.
Francisco says, the pop mockers are secretly the right-wing conservative fundamentalist Christians that the prophet John from Albuquerque warned us of. I bet they even pray to God. Dun dun dun. This one's dark.
Hey, bring it on.
Mark this one on your bingo card. This is from Sarah. The real culprit behind the JFK assassination was JFK.
Oh, no!
Terrible.
He organized the whole thing, apparently. Man.
Todd says the chief cause of death is life. Dun dun dun. So,
we should have got a sound effect in already. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Oh, I should have gotten that. That would have
That's
been
all good.
Nice
Contributions.
Yeah, great stuff. Thank you, guys.
The more I look at my list, Cowan, the
Yeah.
more I was like, I think I only came up with like 5 of them or something. But I realized I don't know if I came up so much with like fake controversies. I came up with like conspiracies, basically. Like,
Yeah, that's what a lot of these tended to gravitate
And I
towards, which is actually what a lot of fake controversies are. Is if you really boil them down, they
that's
tend
true.
to be
They
like
tend to be kind of like
Obama's really a
trumped up-
Muslim.
trumped up conspiracy
stuff.
sort of stuff. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I don't feel super bad about it. But.
Yeah, so that works.
All right.
So you want to kick things off? I think you might have more than me.
Well, maybe. All right. Here we go. Number 1. I have down. This is what I truly believe here. The new smartwatches are just a ploy to survey how fat Americans are by digitally measuring the circumferences of their wrists.
Ooh, I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Transmitting it all back to a central hub.
so. Well, plus they take your pulse and your they
That's
can
right.
measure.
They can
your
take
health.
cardio.
Yeah,
for crying out loud.
They take your whole health schematics.
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh. I think
it's,
the health organizations behind all that, and
what kind of message is Hillary Clinton trying to send by stopping at a Chipotle? You know what it is? Chipotle, Mexican food. It's a not so subliminal message that we need to just get rid of the borders and let all those illegals just come right in. Not to mention, how insensitive is it for her to stop at a delicious Chipotle where they serve incredibly oversized burritos when 1 in 5 children in America has struggled with hunger?
how dare she?
How dare she?
I think
the gall.
I think her campaign has ended before it even began.
And you know what?
What's that?
She does. She stops at Chipotle on the same day Marco Rubio
Oh, jeez.
announces his candidacy. What kind of message is she trying to send? Stopping at a Mexican place
Coincidence?
when a Hispanic candidate announces their run for government.
Coincidence? I think not.
I think not,
All right.
sir. I think
Well, my second
not.
one also deals with Mexican food. People seem to think that Taco Bell's enchilada is a combination of 2 things, an enchilada and a burrito.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
What?
It's a combination of 3 things.
What?
An enchilada, a burrito, and a horrible evening.
Illegal immigration.
Mine was a bad joke.
Horrible.
What's your next one?
Another political one here, because that's what most of these things
Well,
are.
yeah, that's what they gotta be.
Ted Cruz.
All right.
Clearly, he's running on an agenda of reckless driving.
I'm putting pieces
Cruz.
to get cruise
Okay.
control. All right, cool. So good. So we both had bad jokes for our
Yeah,
second one. That's
I
good.
think
All right,
that's
cool.
good.
All right, number 3. Has anyone really seen Miley Cyrus and Justin Bieber together at the same time?
Good point.
No.
Good point.
You want to know why that is?
Same
They're the same person!
Yes.
Photographic proof everywhere. I think,
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it in my
only-
heart of hearts.
Only makes sense. So now the question is he a lesbian? Is she a lesbian or is he a gay?
Well, one might argue that both of them exhibit
A little bit of
a
both.
little bit of both. So there you go.
Hermaphrodite.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Problem solved.
Splitting hairs at this point.
Yeah,
Really is.
I think so.
Yeah.
Is your neighbor having secret racist thoughts? And what if he never demonstrates his racism? Should we have a website? What's that website with sexual predators? Megan's Law?
Megan's Law. Yeah.
Megan's Law.
Megan's Law.
Should we have a site for that, but like for racists?
For confirmed racists?
Yeah, just be like,
But
like I don't know if I want my kids playing at that playground. There's a lot of racists in the neighborhood.
I'm pretty sure that site's its storage capacity would crash very, very quickly. They would need to expand to the size of Utah.
But I think that's definitely something that we all need to fight over.
Okay.
So,
That's good. Let's see. Number 4. This is something I heard that's going around, and I think people are really upset about it. You're going to love this one, Kellen. Arrowhead water. We all know the quality of Arrowhead water.
Urine water.
Doesn't quite taste right.
We need to come up with a clever way to say that. How do you combine Arrowhead and urine in a clever way? I'll have to think on it.
Pea water.
Pea water.
Well, I believe that Arrowhead water tastes so bad because it's actually the bottled tears from sweatshop workers in Apple's foreign factories.
Ooh, hey, you can't go there.
What? Well, I wouldn't go there. I don't want to see that type of mistreatment of labor workers.
All right.
No.
Okay. Nice. You got any others?
I have one more.
Okay.
Which is actually legitimately, I mean, if you wanted to start, no, this is a horrible fake reversity to start, but you know One Direction, the group. Mm-hmm. You know that one of their band members recently quit.
Yes. That was one of our This Just Ins, I think.
He quit, yeah, that's right. He quit because he just wanted something different.
Right.
He wanted something, wanted to go a different direction.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now the band's going to continue on.
Yeah.
But they're continuing on with the name One Direction. That's misleading. That's inaccurate.
That is because they went in two directions.
They should call themselves Two Directions.
Oh, this should not be allowed.
I think it's
Obama
ridiculous.
needs to intervene.
I hope so.
I think so.
Jeez.
Okay, how about this one? How come gay homosexuals get to have gay? Why can't heterosexuals who are also happy take back gay? If I'm a proud, straight gay man, I should be allowed
so you're very jovial,
to
very
refer
happy
to myself as gay without getting some sort of stigmatic connotation that, he's gay. He's homo.
You know, first they take our ability to be happy and joyous. Mm-hmm. And then they take our rainbows, like some, a symbol that I'm sorry, but that really wasn't a symbol of for you guys. You
guys already got Elton John.
That's right.
You guys already got Richard Simmons. Broke my heart. You guys probably have John Travolta. Sharing him with the Scientologist.
That's pretty much a given.
Just give us gay.
Just let us be gay if we want to be gay.
Yeah.
You know?
How about that for equal gay rights? How about equal rights to be gay?
There you go.
You guys think
like gay
equal rights to marry and give me gay marriage?
Yeah, gay in a traditional way. You know?
What if I want to have straight gay marriage?
Oh, this is getting so
confusing. You
confusing.
didn't even think about that, did you?
This is getting so confusing.
So that's what I say. I think we've got an episode title somewhere in there.
I think we've started a firestorm on a few of these, definitely.
I think so. Make it happen. Make it happen. I think we need to make some memes out of some of these.
Everybody get on Wikipedia right now.
And be like, share this if you think women shouldn't wear dresses.
I would love to see that be a t-shirt. Please, let's make a t-shirt.
Oh, man. Let's make this happen.
Thanks, everybody, for your input and your submissions.
Thank you all for listening once again to this episode of Pop Mockers. Hey, leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher, wherever you found us. Leave us a review. We would definitely appreciate it. As always, for contact information and show notes, visit popmockers.com. Get your bingo card at popmockers.com/bingo. And join us live Wednesdays, 8:30 p.m. Pacific at popmockers.com/live.